Hey, hey, fellow crappers! It's your old buddy, your old pal, Ultimate Kennedy here. I am sSerpent21. This is the final video of my wrestling figure collection, WrestleCrap figures. If you're unfamiliar with WrestleCrap, it is a wrestling comedy website owned by R.D. Reynolds. He and Blade Braxton, who I mentioned in the previous video, do a radio show where they talk about everything from wrestling to their favorite cereal. Basically, it celebrates the worst of pro wrestling. Every stupid character, bad match, horrible gimmick, it's all there. This tells me that WrestleCrap has a figure market. I mean, these figures are not marketed as such, but take a look right here. That is Bob Holly as Sparky Plugg, the NASCAR driving wrestler. Who would buy such a figure outside of Bob Holly's family? Maybe 8 people, seriously. I mean, there's got to be a reason that was made. Let's start at the back. Some of these I owned, a few of these I bought just for the purpose of making this video. Thankfully I got them cheap. Like some of these right here, but we'll get to them in a minute. This is Giant Gonzalez. Long story short, Giant Gonzalez was El Gigante in WCW. He is a horrible wrestler. He's just a big, tall guy. WWF got a hold of him and dressed him up as a Bigfoot creature for a match with Undertaker at WrestleMania 9. Basically, he had this big airbrushed furry costume and even had a big airbrushed ass. Figure does not have an airbrushed ass, unfortunately. I mean, it would have made the figure a little more accurate. But he's pretty awful. Got the Ultimate Warrior here. Now, Ultimate Warrior on his own is not WrestleCrap. He is such a Looney Tune. He is so awesome to watch. This figure is very reminiscent and very accurate of a WrestleCrap induction, where that is him with Phil Collins for a music video they did. Bet you didn't even know it existed. I think it was called Really. I don't remember the song name. Come over here. That is the Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine as Rhythm and Blues, a really bad tag team. They didn't have much together. Greg Valentine just acted, looked, and walked and talked kind of like Elvis, the way Honky Tonk Man does, and it looked silly. Terry Funk is right here as Chainsaw Charlie with a really stupid-looking plastic chainsaw, but really awesome pantyhose on his head. You got a panty on your head. Is basically a crazy character he came up with for a Mick Foley match or a match with him and Mick Foley in '98, I believe. I think it was New Age Outlaws fought them. Here's Rocky Maivia, The Rock before he was awesome. He had all these feathers and a big smile and curled up hair, and he couldn't smile enough, and he's so happy and give me a break. No wonder people thought he was stupid. I mean, got people upset and say, "Die, Rocky, die." Thankfully, he became The Rock. This is Barry Darsow as the Repo Man. He was this goofy kind of 60s Batman villain. He'd steal your car if you were late on a payment. I don't know if that makes him a good guy or a baby face or a heel or whatever, but it's pretty cool. I liked it. I wish he stuck around longer. Now that's a Ric Flair figure. That's supposed to be Nuthouse Ric Flair. WCW did a stupid angle with him and Roddy Piper and Charles Robinson, where he basically went insane and went into an asylum. I mean, it looks good on paper, maybe as a great angle, but holy cow is it dumb. That straitjacket, it's just Kleenex taped together with some pen markings I put on it. It's not a real figure. I mean, the figure it came with a Curt Hennig and Bobby Heenan. But anyway, here's Akeem, the African Dream. The big white one-man gang is with the Reverend Slick in the parking lot, and all of a sudden, he's a black man. Boy, oh boy, you think of stupid stuff. Some people do sometimes. This is the Genius, Leapin' Lanny Poffo. Lanny Poffo's awesome. I think he's actually emailed me a couple times through his YouTube account, because I remarked on one of his videos. He's cool. Unfortunately, he was basically a jobber. He read poetry to the audience on Frisbees. it's just kind of silly. I mean, he is the genius in that he got paid a whole lot of money to do nothing in WCW, but yeah, I don't know. Great guy. I've seen some of his matches. This is Turncoat Sergeant Slaughter. If you remember in 1991, basically they did an angle where Sergeant Slaughter turned heel and joined the Iraq during the war. He had General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa for the Triangle of Terror. That's Iron Sheik as Colonel Mustafa behind him. I don't think he was necessarily inducted, but the figures came together as a pack, so I put him there. Here we got the Gooker 2007 winner. That is Vince McMahon, and Little Bastard Hornswoggle is the Vince's son angle. The Hornswoggle figure is really cool. I like the Vince figure. None of Vince's figures sell. They always get blown out on clearance wherever I, see figures sometimes. Basically, in an attempt to try and, help promote a storyline, instead of promoting a wrestler, like somebody who could have used a push like MVP or Mr. Kennedy or the Sandman, they chose Little Bastard. I mean, I like Hornswoggle, but come on. That's Dusty Rhodes of the WWF years. Dusty Rhodes, everyone knows who he is. He went to WWF and got, basically made into an ass. He had danced around, he had, the polka dot costume. I kind of like the idea. It's like maybe a guy went to the arena one day to try and be a wrestler, and he cut up some bed sheets and they had polka dots on them, and he just had fun. I mean, I like Dusty, and I mean, even as awful as that was, I mean, it was still fun to see him. Now, Kamala is a cool character, but this is meant for the good guy Kamala induction. He was humanized to be, a more civil man by the aforementioned Reverend Slick, and he was taught to bowl. That's why he's kind of got that bowling motion there, so. Here's IRS, Mike Rotunda as the evil wrestling tax accountant. Guess why that's inducted. Awesome character, but come on, he's a tax accountant who wrestles. I think I once asked the site, have there ever been any wrestling astronauts, because of all the silly, gimmicky, jobs characters had. This is the Catch-as-Catch-Can match, Dean Malenko and Billy Kidman. Basically, if you left the ring, you got disqualified, and 90 seconds in, Dean Malenko left and got disqualified. Two great wrestlers put on a crap match, basically. This is Eddie Guerrero, the exploitation of Eddie Guerrero, the 2006 Gooker winner. More or less, Eddie Guerrero, great personality, great wrestler. He's holding up his belt like a Barker Beauty because, more or less, it's because it was basically selling Eddie's legacy at, Eddie channeling Holly Hulstrom. Speaking of Barker Beauties, more or less it's an angle that nobody wanted to see, and it ran for about a year. It made me not want to watch SmackDown. Rounding out this is going to be Matilda. Bret Hart's keeping her company. I was going to try and get another Hulk Hogan figure for a WrestleMania 9 induction, or a William Shatner figure for a William Shatner induction, but he'll keep Matilda company in the meantime. Basically a mascot who was made more popular than the Dynamite Kid or Davey Boy Smith, the wrestlers who were with the dog. Also, just as a bonus, got my Rock figure here, and I got Austin. Now what awful induction does this summarize the culmination of? If you said the invasion, then you are right.
Yes.
Well, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Might even throw up a little bonus induction that I had for figures. I want to thank you all for watching, and you all take care. Thank you. Bye.